Hi everyone! I'm back with some new projects to share. This one isn't really new. I started this journal maybe last August. So happy that that is finished. And then this is one of the envelopes that I made when I was sharing how I make my soft cover journals from sewing tissue. And what I thought would be fun to do is make a little journal to fit inside. And so I did that, and I'm really happy with how it came out. And then I just recently made this little envelope with a book inside, and it was made exactly the same as all my other tissue envelopes. I just took two long strips of the tissue, put them wrong sides together, and then just folded this end up and stitched all the way around. And it's that easy. And then on the cover, I've pinned a safety pin through the butterfly here with a little tag that says wish. Got a little lace and a button here. And then the little book inside. On the cover, I've just done some layering with different papers and ephemera. And then I've got the optical lens here highlighting that rose image. And if you saw my flip through over on Instagram, your eyes are not deceiving you. I added that little floral image behind after I was finished. Sometimes it's the little things, you know? I just decided it needed something, and I'm really happy that I did that. So then I have from the handle a piece of twine that's holding this little bottle that has lavender buds inside, and those are from my garden. And then I've got a little antiqued gem, and that's held with this bulb pin. And then inside, I've just done some layering and stamping, some fabric tape and label tape. I've got a little pocket here. This is a tag that I made with the field notes set, just layered it up and stitched it on. Did some stamping on the back, and then a couple tickets from the ticket book. And then this page flips out. I've got some paper dolls and mushrooms, more stamping and layering. A little more of the same here. Right here, I've got this little paper doll on this tag, and it really doesn't look like it should come out. So it kind of makes a little secret hiding place right there. I didn't even mean for that to happen. It just did, and I really like it. More layering. And then back here, I've done some ink through stencil here, and a little mushroom image, little word memories. So that's my little book. I really love it. So now I will share this one. And what I've done on the cover is I put a old safety pin through this fabric here that was stitched on. And then I've got a metal rim tag on the pin and another antique gem there. A little linen tape, and it's held on with this little tiny clip, which can come off. And then I've held it closed with a seam binding. And the little journal inside is made from the same sewing tissue. And I've made this little pocket on the cover and put a little word here, magic and truth. And then we've got a little die cut ticket there, a photo booth, and a piece of label tape. The label tape has adhesive backing on it, so you can peel that off and then stick it down where you want. And then on the inside cover here, I have a really small pocket, really tiny, and in that is a little doily and a vintage slide die and a little die cut envelope from Music Sheet, and in that is a metal rim tag. And a couple salvage tags here and a little piece of ephemera. A little tiny envelope with cards inside. And a piece of vellum from the Vellum Scenes. This is actually the piece, a leftover piece from my travel folio. I really like that vellum. And photo booth here, little butterfly clipped in. Got a little pocket here with a couple tags or tickets from the ticket book. Little die cut tags. Another little floral image there. And some vellum from the Wallflower Vellum Pack. And I love how vellum goes over an image, especially like a person's face or like a paper doll. And so then I've got a stitch slot die. The little paper doll sits in that. And then some journaling cards and a little tag. More vellum. And this little piece of paper from the paper stack is just taped in. It's the fabric tape, and you can take that up. It's not so sticky that you can't peel it up. And then in this little pocket here, I've got several die cut tags, a milk cap, and then this little flower. And then in this little pocket is an envelope that you can glue whichever way you want. A couple more of the vintage slide die cuts. A little bag that you can glue whichever way you want. A bag cut from Book Page. And a little frame that says Souvenir Views. And then this journal, I've done quite a bit of work in this one. I've added a lot of lace. And I love this cover. This cover has such a great feel. Under the butterfly, I've got some fibers here. And then a little jewelry piece and a little pearl dangle. And then I've stitched seam binding to the front and back cover for a closure. And then on the inside cover here, I've got some collage paper, some washi tape, little snippets of lace just stitched on there. And then up here, I've got some paper layered underneath the laces. Most all the laces are vintage in this, or old. If they're not really, really old, they're old. And then a metal piece of jewelry there. And this little bag I had sewn from sheer fabric, and I decided it would kind of be neat to hang it upside down, and then it creates a flip up. And so inside of this, I've just tied it closed with seam binding, added a lot of trim and lace and a button, and then a little tag that I made. And I've just layered up some different papers and Tim Holtz image there, a little eyelet with a piece of lace for pulling it out. And then behind the flip up here, I've got this tag that I made. Just did some layering and sewing. The clock face here, I have a hardware head and a story stick, and that creates a little tuck spot behind. A little snippet here, layering of papers. And then over here I have this pocket that I've used a lot of different vintage laces and a little bit of linen there, and just put them together to create this pocket. And in that I've got this lace tag that's backed with the card. And a little snippet there with a rhinestone inside. And I love my tiny envelopes, so I have this little tiny envelope with a metal rim tag and a pressed flower that I've stapled on. Most of the papers that I used in this book are from the Lost and Found pack. Some are French Industrial. This is one of the French Industrials, and I thought both paper lines went really well with this cover. So I was happy with how it came out. More collaging over here. This little pocket here, what I did is I took a piece of linen and cut a window. I did stitch around to keep it from fraying. And then I added this trim here and the lace around the edge. And then this flap, I just lined it with the linen and added a little button. And I really like how that came out. Such a neat look. And I've got this little image inside here. I put the word beautiful and use some inks to kind of age that. A postcard and some collaging over here. I've got a little tag here, and the hole in the tag I put a bee behind, little bee. And then these holes are cut with a die I have, and I use it quite a bit. I really like this die, so I've used it in this book a couple times on some of the pages. I've got a Rolodex card here that I've used inks on, and then put some twine and a little button, just wrapped it around. Layering here, dreams come true, little piece of lace. And then I've got a bingo card where I've stitched on this button and a little postcard. Safety pin over here. All the safety pins I use are all old. And then a lot of layering, and this lace is stapled on, so you could take it off if you want. Most of them are stitched on. And then this flip up, I took several different little pieces of laces and linens and put together this little flip up, and I really like how it came out. And so behind that, I've got this little envelope, and this is the worn wallpaper that I created a tuck spot with. And then this was fun. I took this little metal rim tag and used it as a closure for the envelope. And the way I did that is I just used this ticket and some papers and just layered them and then stitched them on and then stapled the tag on, and that just created that little closure there. And I got a little piece of ephemera inside. Little stitching here that I've put a safety pin through, layering. A little tuck spot, tiny little tuck spot with the clock in it here. And then this was about when I got my embossing glazes. And so I was trying them on a lot of different things at the time, and I really like how that came out. It gives a really nice feel and look. I used it on the pressed flower here. And then some stitching and layering and buttons and lace. And the heirloom flowers, I have a video on how to age the heirloom flowers with alcohol ink. Little wax seal there with a flower. And then this envelope here, I made it with paper, just folded it in a way to make an envelope on end, and then made this little card to go inside. Added some lace and quite a bit of different things on it there. Fabric tape. Little paper doll on this side. More of that die cut. Another glazed image there. Layering, buttons and lace. And then this was fun. I used a metal ring at the top of this image here, and I put a piece of fabric through and then stitched it on so that it would hold the ring on. I really like how that came out. A little snippet here with a button. And then over here, I just made this little pocket with a little snippet. I just stitched it this way and put these little tickets inside. A lot of layering here. The number 8 is a tuck spot. Got a tiny clip here that's holding these little images in. And I love the pink on this page with the pink. It came out really nice. I like it. And then up here I've got some lace and little buttons and pieces, label tape, a vintage flower that's held in with a tiny clip, lace and a pressed flower, little tag behind this ticket that I stapled in. And then we got some ephemera over here. And in the glassine envelope here, I've got a found relative, and I backed it with some paper from the French industrial pack, and then stitched on the little fabric snippet there. And got some layering of papers and lace and paper doll, little button, little piece of fabric. I tied it in a knot right there. And then this little image is from the French industrial pack. I thought it was so cute, so I put it on there. A tag here, layering on it. And then a bold pin holding this vintage button. This is a tiny little pocket right there. And then I've done my eyelet here with a swivel clasp, and I've got a jewelry piece, a little vintage button, and an antiqued gem. And on the last page back here, I've got a little bag in this little tuck spot here, some laces at the top. And in this is a journaling card, and I've added a little metal rim tag over this little label there. This is embossed paper that I put into the metal rim tag. And then I've got a little book in this back pocket. I love this back page with this lace pocket. It's so pretty. And I did some more collage over here and a little bit of lace. The same as the front cover. They're both the same idea. And then the little book is made from offcuts of paper. This one already had the hole cut in it, so I thought that was perfect. And then I've added a photo booth image here on the first page. I've got little bits and pieces that are stapled in or just tucked in. And that's it. So these books I'm going to put into my Etsy shop. I'm not sure what day or time. So what I will do, you guys, is in the description box below, I will add a date and time. And then if you're interested, you guys can take a look. But thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate your time and support. Hope you guys are taking good care, and I will be back. Bye, guys.